Welcome to my home, Biko. You arrived just in time. I arranged a meeting with my dead water friend, Jaxic Orn. She is very proud, so we must use a breeze-like touch. This will be a brief and probably bloody meeting if we do not. Cassandra, yes. You and Famia would have to speak to her, I guess. I am glad she sees the wisdom in talking to the Dead Water tribe. Cassandra has many flaws, but stupidity is not among them. You need me to describe them? She wears her flaws like I wear my feathers. Cassandra is Vexovite. You would say persnickety, I think? Well, you would probably not say that. That is a very stupid word. But you take my meaning. She is very particular. For Cassandra, all the world is a mess. She loves clean angles, good posture, fitting things snug in tiny boxes. It is a very dry way to live, but who am I to judge? She probably thinks I am lazy because I sleep 14 hours a day.
Watch your step. You never know what might jump out of the murk to kill you. So, you decided to take up my invitation. Followed me all the way out to the middle of nowhere. I'm flattered, and you're lucky. Guilty as charged, though a pardon does wonders. You'll forgive me for keeping you in the dark during my contract, but appearances are important in Somerset, and camouflage comes in all colors. As are you. I'm glad you found your way to the Brotherhood, even if you weren't born under the sign. Shadow Scales are made killers. You chose to be one. I admire that. I'm just here to welcome a kindred spirit home, Biko. I'm sure you'll take to the mud like you were born in it, but best not forget that Murkmire is Sithis' playground, or you'll never leave. If the Night Mother calls on you, obey, but be discreet. There's no sanctuary for you here, and you'll receive no special privilege. Fear and the Blade will be your only allies, but I might be your guide. I'm sure we'll cross paths again. Don't find me. I'll find you.
I see their approach. You make me wait too long, Zukas. The Deadwater tribe goes to war with the Blackguards, yes. I hunt one of them even now. But we do not need or want your help. Now, go back to your coast town, Ogel. The swamp will eat you if you do not.
So, it is true. The Blackguards take hostages from the Deadwater tribe as well. As I said, Jaxic is very proud, but she would be a valuable ally if we could convince her to let us help. Too bad she runs away, yes? At least we have a lead. Yes, she said she was hunting a Blackguard even now, right? Did you see how her throat fins spread? How her pupils dilated and her tail stiffened as she turned to leave? Her prey is very, very close. We only need to follow her. We hunt the hunter. Scan the swamp for the bent reeds and broken fronds she leaves in her wake. The trail should eventually lead us to friend Jaxic and the Blackguard she hunts. Simple, I think. Crouch down, Biko. Look for bent stalks, torn leaves, or muddy prints. Should be easy. Jaxic Orn rarely sneaks around danger. She goes through it, always.
drink it. I made it myself.
Jaxic, approach carefully.
I grind my fangs. Following a Deadwater call is the act of a fool or a maniac. Sojay says fools and maniacs both bleed red. I will repeat myself. Once. I do not need your help. I hunt these blackguards alone. Our business is settled. Leave. The Ogel stands its ground. Brave. Or stupid. A flock of flat-toothed blackguards took refuge in this ravine. They snatched up some of my egg-kin, your allies too, and threw them in cages. Now Sojay and I will hack these grills to pieces. I narrow my eyes. You and the Brightthroat wish to join me on this raid rather than pick the bones when the work is done. Fine. Burn the wagons. Smash their supplies. Kill any that oppose you. When all lies in ashes, we will speak again. Finally, you speak sense. Bare your fangs, Ogel. The hunt begins.
So, it's a fight? I fight best from the shadows, Biko. I leave the direct approach to you.
Eat mud, dry skin.
It's you! Thank Ifray! Please get us out of here!
Run, you mudlegs! Zadaza is done with this place.
So, these dry skins are good for something, after all.
I hate this swamp! I'm never coming back!
Step away, Bright Throat. This one belongs to the Deadwater tribe.
It seems my friend Jaxic has been playing with her food. You should speak to her before she does something stupid.
This one is known to us Ogel, a blackguard savage who led the raid on our people. Now in our Hist's mighty name, I will hack it dead. If you want to talk to it, be quick. Sojay is thirsty, and Sithis is waiting. I roll my eyes. Murder? When you gut a fish, is it murder? No. You only object because this fish walks upright and has a face. The Ogel is an animal, a foolish one. The Deadwater tribe does not suffer animals like this to live. I bare my teeth. A Naga prays for repercussions daily, outsider. Blackguards slither about in Deadwater territory often. Too often. Perhaps finding this Ogel in pieces will finally lure them into open combat. Then we will skin them like catfish.
As always, Jaxic's beady Naga eyes see only vengeance and mayhem. I see opportunity. This blackguard is a survivor. Survivors are useful. If she returns to her swordkin with tales of what she witnessed here, it could discourage future attacks. Ha! How quickly Jaxic forgets she is a kidnapper herself. The blackguards do not know the Deadwater tribe as I do. Let this dryskin tell her tale. By sparing one, we terrify 100. An ancient tactic, Biko, but very effective.
These Argonians are crazy! Please! You can't let them kill me! I surrendered! I had nothing to do with the abduction of that lizard's people! I swear it! How in oblivion should I know? Orders came down to watch the captives. I didn't ask why. Maybe I should have, but I've got a daughter at home. If I don't follow orders, she doesn't eat. I had nothing to do with the abductions. I'm telling the truth. Mara's mercy. You'd let that Naga murder a prisoner. Just let me think. All right. There was an interrogator who grilled a few of the captives. Something about a remnant. Yes, the remnant of Argon. He was asking everyone about it, even the Nagas. Yes, some Argonian relic, maybe? I really have no idea what the remnant is. Word is, there's someone with a heavy purse willing to pay out a fortune for any information, but that's all I know. Please don't make my daughter an orphan.
This savage lies as easily as it breathes. Look at its eyes, the sweat on its brow. It stinks of deceit and cowardice. Now it speaks of the remnant of Argon. It must die. This Ogel is a liar and the spawn of liars. Now Sojay and I will kill it. I am not. You showed cunning in tracking me and strength during the raid. To see you falter now, in the face of some blubbering, treacherous dryskin, would turn my stomach. It says it has a daughter. It has killed many daughters. Now that ends.
So the blackguards seek the remnant. That is unwelcome news. Even so, killing a single bound prisoner will save no lives. Friend Jaxic thinks it is justice. It is not. Release the blackguard. Spare this one life, and we may save many more. I cannot be sure, but that is no bad thing. Nothing leads to more death than the need for certainty. You cut down many blackguards and laid waste to their operation. Let this dryskin describe it to her friends. Then they will know fear.
Brave, Ogel, but foolish.
Thank you. I'm finished with the blackguards. You have my word.
You made the right decision, Biko. Thank you. So, the Ogels have learned about the remnant of Argon. That is frustrating. Something I cannot discuss, for now. Return to Famia and tell her this. She is a friend to the Saxhleel, but the remnant is not some stone cop or golden idol. It is something much greater and more dangerous.
I hiss with fury. How did these Ogel beasts learn about the Remnant?
We will find out, Jaxic, provided you do not kill them all.
I prepare to leave this place. What more do you want, Ogel? I bristle my war spines. I will return to Deadwater Village and gather the warriors for a blood council. Blackguard hunting season must begin. Now. All. No. Most. Perhaps. These savages cannot take the remnant of Argonne. If it means the death of every blackguard and Deadwater warrior, so be it. One does not stop the other. Sojay and I will hunt both remnant and blackguard. Join the hunt if you wish, but do not stand in our way.
Such a crime. I suppose you couldn't do any better.
Is this odd straight?
Though the Saxhleel...
If you're here for information on the Ebonheart Pack's war effort, speak to recruiter Andrillo. She's recruiting new members at their kiosk just to the south of the docks. Not very well, if you ask me. Here in Murkmire, the war efforts are nothing more than stories told by sailors. Why risk your hide for something that you can't even see? Being sent here was a fool's errand. I'm as Lucial as they come. Born and raised in Morrowind, away from all this. Never licked any sap, yet here I am, soul and all. I put my trust in the Pact, not some all-knowing tree. And that served me well so far. You really that invested in me? Well, I'm not saying I've got my ears closed or anything. I'll listen to whatever anyone has to say. But don't expect me to go on believing it.
Well, that makes 2 pits you've pulled me out of. I just don't think I'm cut out for this sort of work. Maybe I'll open a meadery in Lilmoth. The bees here in Murkmire are, well, huge. But I'm sure I can make do.
I don't know who was worse. The blackguards who kidnapped us or those Deadwater Nagas they cooped us up with. I think they might have eaten me if things got dire. Thank you for freeing me from that place, friend.
Rescued? That is what they say. Brave, beautiful Zadaza rescued by the new blood. This foe. Vara will never let this one hear the end of it. Oh, do not get your tail in a twist. Zadaza is not mad, just disappointed. This one was moments away from mounting a daring escape when you arrived. The stuff of legends. Still, we work with Famia. Zadaza will get another chance before long, yes?
Not much longer. I was sad to hear about the troubles in Silent Mire. Pirates, kidnapping. Is no place safe anymore?
Good to see you again. I'm so glad you decided to come to Murkmire. I really am. We could use your help, and that's a fact. Where else would I be? I go where Famia and Concordia need me, and right now, that's right here. I'm cataloging the latest relics discovered by our explorers, and I need to be quick. Look, I even found a place for the cursed skull. Where else would we put it? Oh, you mean the legend. I don't think the golden skull of Bilakar poses any more danger to Murkmire. At least, not any more than usual. Don't worry, though. We'll keep the skull safe. I promise. Famia's a consummate researcher who's as smart as a sap speaker. She's a little less sure-footed when it comes to field work, but she does much better when Concordia's nearby to help her. Some of our benefactors also help out, such as Cassandra. As I said, one of Cyrodiilic Collection's benefactors. She's wealthy, shrewd, competent. She might be the most competent Argonian I've ever met, and that's a fact. She's been quite instrumental in getting our current expedition off the ground. Oh, Concordia's off dealing with benefactors and recruitment back in the more civilized sections of Tamriel. Famia expects her to return soon, though, and that will be a good thing. The sisters work best when they work together.
Take care of yourself. No one else will. Count on it.
You're back! Fabulous! Some of my missing friends already tracked me down, telling tales of a daring, fiery rescue. Marvelous! What happened out there? So the Deadwater tribe helped you after all? What a fascinating development. Between your heroism and Jaxic Orn's raw strength, I'm sure you showed those brutes what for. I hesitate to ask, but what did the blackguards learn about the Remnant? Well then, there's not a moment to lose. We will redouble our efforts. We cannot allow those thugs to claim something as valuable as the Remnant. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We should probably discuss this matter with Cassandra. Oh, no surprise there. Even so, they must understand we only mean to help. Zukas knows my motives are pure, and this Deadwater warrior proved she's willing to collaborate when the situation requires it. We'll win them over. I'm sure of it.
So, you return victorious. You have my most sincere gratitude, and that of the explorers you rescued. Now, as to the blackguards, we should assume that they learned a great deal from our friends and the Deadwater warriors. Wouldn't you agree? Unfortunate. I can tell you as an expert of Argonian archaeology, the idea of one of those ignorant thugs handling such a valuable antiquity makes me very uncomfortable. Did they mention why they seek this thing? I have some experience with wealth. Jangling gold in front of a pack of cutthroats is an act of crude desperation. This person is either a fool or a victim of some obsession, In either case, we cannot let this remnant fall into their hands. We can discuss that in a moment. First, we owe you a significant sum. It's only right that we settle the books on that first. I hope this is sufficient. I assure you, there will be much more if you choose to join us. Once again, you have my thanks. You've done a great deal for us already. I wonder if you're willing to do a bit more. While Famia has proven a steadfast companion, I believe our current predicament requires someone a bit more adroit when things take a turn for the perilous. I do. One of your native companions warned you off of it, didn't they? Believe me, I sympathize. But despite my lifestyle, I'm still an Argonian, one with ample means. Who would I be if I didn't use that wealth to help my people? Yes, you are clearly the best at what you do. I can think of no one more qualified to lead this endeavor. You and Zukas have grown close, correct? He knows a great deal about the Remnant, I'm sure. Please, convince him we only want to help. Thank you for your efforts thus far, and your achievements to come. I have business in Alton-Mirthil. Perhaps we can reconvene there once you've made your inquiries with Zukas. An item of tremendous historical significance and arcane power. Very little scholarship exists on the subject, but I do know a little. Argonian elders often referred to it as a sacred egg, or Zalthithel. Eggs always contain something, right? Answers. About the Hist, their beginnings, their powers, their intentions. All I know for certain is that it does not contain simple coins or ancient bric-a-brac. The Remnant is a vessel for great power. We must be cautious and well prepared. Whatever is best for the people of Murkmire. I won't act without their consultation if that's what you're worried about. Again, I may be something of an outsider, but I am still an Argonian. This isn't some purely academic matter for me. I honestly couldn't say. Most of that history was beaten out of my exiles by the Dark Elves centuries before I was born. You're an Argonian. I'm sure this is no surprise to you. You mean, has the Hist spoken to me? I'd prefer not to talk about that right now. A conversation for another time. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your efforts thus far. It is, in fact. You have a very keen eye. You should know that the crystal was a tremendous discovery. Vaka stones like this one are very difficult to come by. Famia didn't tell you? Vaka stones are mysterious crystals, not unlike the Aeliad Welkid stones. Our ancestors used them to store the raw magicka that falls from the sun, thus their radiant yellow hue. Powerful relics, to be sure. If an opportunity presents itself, perhaps. I suspect that some ancient Argonian relics require Vaka stones to function. No doomsday devices, though, I promise. It is. I spent the greater part of my youth in Cyrodiil. Taking on Imperial dress, name, and customs made things easier. Of course, it makes things here in Murkmire more complicated. No. I was hatched in Morrowind. You'll forgive me if I don't elaborate. It was a very difficult time, one best forgotten. As my native eggkin say, best to let it pass. The antiquities market. No surprise there, I'm sure. I know I'm a bit starchy now. But in my youth, I was quite the explorer. I discovered several untouched Ayleid ruins and auctioned their treasures for a tidy sum. Hardly. The Ayleids treated my ancestors very poorly. I prefer to think of this as simple reparations. In any case, my business interests are purely philanthropic now. Like Famia, I only seek to preserve Argonian relics for future...
So much to do.
I'll be at this a while.
The brightest, loudest throats croak your name, Biko. This makes it difficult to sleep, but under the circumstances, I think I can forgive you. That business with the egg tenders was no midday wallow. Now we have something to discuss, I think. Of course you do. This matter of the remnant, you must understand, it is fragile as a marsh robin's egg. Even so, I trust your heart, and truthfully, we could use the help. Brightthroats are negotiators, not warriors, and war is brewing. All answers lie with the Hist. It is just a matter of hearing what it has to say. Chimemaker Shuvu can help us. Our Hist speaks through the wind, you see. Its words rustle through the boughs, and our chimes sing out its counsel. Poetic, right? Old Shuvu spends his time in the glade of chimes, to the west of the village. In my youth, I would spend all my time listening to the chimes. It is a very good place. If you go there now, I will join you. You will like Chimemaker Shuvu, I think. Very wise and very pleasant. Like one of your gray-muzzled bark dogs. Let's make our way to the glade. The remnant. It is not a thing known, but a thing felt. Like rain on the shoulders, or a brief whiff of cinnamon grass. Difficult to explain to outsiders, I think. Ha, this is fair. When I was a hatchling, a very old Nahish elder told me a story about a lost tribe, one that lived far away in houses of stone. She did not speak about the remnant, but its name swelled in my heart. I do not know why. My knowing tree is barren. Sorry, Biko. Better to learn these things together anyway. For you, at least. Just think, if I knew where the remnant was, I would probably have hidden it by now. Then you would never get to see it. Is the name not clear? It is a glade. It is full of chimes. The Hist might speak to you also. In Brightthroat Village, we learn the Hist's will through the chime music. Better than licking toads or mud dancing like other tribes, I think.
Is that... little Zucus. Come to visit your old friend in the Glade of Chimes? He is always so busy now. I recall when he stood only as tall as the keppel grass. And you, Xavier, what can this stiff-legged crafter do for you? Remnant of... My. This is no small question, Zucus friend. Look around you. Each of these chimes sing out a tangle of melodies, but only one tangle. One chime speaks of eggs and hatching, another jangles about death and journey's ends. The Ogel is clever, Zucas. Yes, my hands gave birth to every chime you hear. But the remnant, only one chime can sing its truth. One made by sun-blessed hands in an old time. Older than my egg-mother's egg-mother. A chime as old as our tribe. Locked away, hidden under mud in lost memories. Understand, our egg-sires did not want this truth drifting free on the wind. But Zucas trusts you, so I will trust you. Go to the Wither Vault. Claim the chime. We will learn its truth together. The Wither Vault is well north of the village. I would guide you, but my knees grow stiff as kindling wood. Little Zucas can aid you, I have no doubt. Be warned. Even Brightthroats who know the mire like their own scales face danger there. Since before he hatched, I called him the Little Stump. He would plant himself at the foot of the listening tree and stare up at the branches, listening, always listening. I thought he might take my place one day. You should ask him. Treeminder Pavu saw the old sap in Zucas. She made him a root herald, and his days grew short and lean like an underfed guar. Eventually, he had no time to listen anymore. All is as the Hist wishes it to be. One day, when he has grown old and thin like me, he may return to the glade. Until then, he does the tribe's work. There is no shame in that. None at all.
The path to the remnant bends like an oxbow. Let's find this chime. Leaving the glade always puts rocks in my sandals. Sad, you know. One day the two of us should share some phlegm wine there and just listen.
You sniveling snake. That's my coin purse and you know it.
Your coin purse? It is I who found it, and so it is now my coin purse. Do you have something to say, egg sibling? To steal implies that the purse is not mine. To the Roothouse people, that which is needed is provided by our Hist through the actions of others. I needed the gold that the dry skin carried. The Hist saw that it would become mine. Simple. I've seen this Kuda in Lilmoth. His purse only grew heavy with coin by selling the relics of Murkmire. He took from the land of my people. Why should I not take from him? The Hist has provided that which I need. I have no reason to not accept it.
This bag of scales picks my coin purse off the ground, and suddenly it's his? I've never heard of such a ridiculous thing. Ah, just my luck I run afoul of a root house lizard. The whole tribe is filled with nothing but thieves. I can't believe they even get away with it. The other villagers should have put a stop to them long ago. And now here I am, an innocent traveler getting robbed blind. Exactly. Do you know how many relics I had to sell to earn that gold? How many Zonmirs I had to scour? How many traps I had to dodge? By all rights, that coin purse is mine. I refuse to be intimidated like this. Yes, and? I assure you, the Argonians don't care about those relics in the least. Gold, on the other hand, they seem to have all the interest in the world. So much so that they would steal it from the hands of innocent folks. You're right. I'll never get this lizard to agree to common morals. I just have to find some guards. That's what I'll do. I'll go to the nearest town and find someone who will help me bring him to justice. Fine.
My thanks for calming the waters.
But you'll get what's coming to you.
If the Hist wills it so, Flat-Tooth, but I should not hold my breath over such a thing.
The swamp grows thick here. A far cry from Lilmoth's mud puddles, I think.
Yes? Anything I can do.
Oh, Leviathan Pizzle grows across this glade. A very powerful herb, Biko. Remind me to pick some later. I cannot imagine the Brightthroats ever holding territory here. Very little wind, hollow seeds, and poor fishing. Take away our wind, seeds, and fish, and we grow very sour. There it is, just up ahead. This place dries my scales. No good thing comes from stone. Let's make this quick. I fear we will find more than the chime inside this vault. Be careful. The Nahish elders never speak of this place, not even to me. Stay watchful, Biko. I hear something. The chimes. They sing without wind. Just ahead. Kaok, I hate this. Good work, Biko. Let us get back to Brightthroat Village.
nesting in the Wither Vault, soiling the chime. My rage quill is engorged.
Be calm, old Shuvu. No one wants to see that.
The wind welcomes you, Zuka's friend. You have the remnant chime? Please, settle an old lizard's spines. The beast Zukas mentioned, it did not gnaw or shed water on it, right? Hist be praised. Take the chime to the listening tree and hang it there. When you are ready, clutch this prayer stone and focus. If your cause is just, the Hist will answer. If not, I guess we have to find a better place to bury this chime.
The phlegm wine is still bubbling. Have some before the bog gases run dry.
Perfect. Now center yourself in the glade and focus the remnant's mystery on the prayer stone. We seek your guidance and ask the blessing of your song. Sap Mother, Bow Father, please hear our petition and speak the remnant's truth. I hear nothing. A tangle of whispers, nothing more.
That can't be. Wait, I hear it, Shuvu. I hear it. The Hist sings the remnant's truth.
Truly? Ha! Ah, little Zukas, I knew you had a chime maker's heart. Come, tell us what you hear.
I am confused. Shuvu is the wisest listener in the tribe. How could he hear nothing when I heard it so clearly? He is very old. Maybe he just needs his ear cavity flushed. Smoke of stars to see what once was seen. Sunless sap to hear what once was heard. A bramble of words. I appreciate the Hist's poetry, but this is not an ideal time for it, I think. I do not know. Hopefully Shuvu can teach me how to decipher the words. It will take time, but I will find you if I learn more. Perhaps friend Famia could help also? Or Cassandra. They both know the marsh's stone secrets. They could prove useful.
Hello. Cassandra said you'd be here. There's news. Well, you certainly have a spring in your step. Your work with the Bright Throats went well, I take it. Splendid! Following another lead on the Remnant. Or, potential lead. Someone she worked with before she started funding Cyrodiilic collections. I don't know much more. She asked me to tell you to join them when I saw you, so I suppose you should do that. West of here, near that spooky prison. Honestly, I missed most of it. Too preoccupied by her bodyguard. Something about how he looks at me. Gives me the shivers, you know? But we have better things to discuss. What did you learn with Zucus? Ritual Argonian poetry. The words are common, but the meter is all wrong. There's more to it. Missing verses, perhaps? Well, truthfully, Cassandra is the authority on that sort of thing. You should set out. I'll try to dig up a few relevant texts. Smoke and sunless sap. Strange that the Bright Throats hissed would speak in such dour terms. Maybe it describes some dark age. The Alessian incursion of the First Era? Or perhaps a dark age yet to come. Egads, let's hope it's not that. Cassandra summoned me. Honestly, it's nice to get out of the office from time to time. Thought I might take in a Tiba Inu match while I'm here. I guess it'll have to wait. I need to get back to Lilmoth to research this poem of yours. Ugh, I wish I knew. He's just the worst, right? She hired him maybe 6 months ago? I don't think Cassandra's ever received a credible threat to her life, but he's always there, leering at us. Maybe she'll sack him now that you're here. Fingers crossed. Oh, they're mostly fine, if a little shaken up. A few of them have sworn off exploring for good. Hard to blame them, I guess. Luckily, Zadaza chose to stay on. She would never let her career end with an abduction. Far too proud for that.
Rumors spread like water in a stream that one of my people saved. Pockets have been picked clean.
Nothing is ever that simple. Good, you're here. You found us. Good. As you can see, we've met with some difficulty. I apologize for the unsightliness. Were your inquiries in Brightthroat Village fruitful? Murder, apparently. The victim was Hitsasi, a former associate. Not so pleasant or learned as Famia, but still useful in his own way. He traveled in less reputable circles. I had hoped he could shed some light on the blackguard's plans. That is what we are trying to determine. Whatever happened, it was neither clean nor brief. What a waste. If the blackguards came after him, Hitsasi must have known something about the Remnant after all. Look around and see what you can find. His throat was cut. Simple bandages weren't enough to staunch the bleeding, it seems.
I've got the corpse covered, Swamp Slug. Why don't you do what the nice lady says and look for clues about the Remnant? Someone like me? Huh. Funny. You're funny. Truth is, she came looking for me. Cassandra's got an eye for talent. She wants results. I deliver. Huh. You think I do this for the gold? Of course I don't. And neither do you. You and me, we do what we do. Rich, poor, or in between. Don't act like you're one of these workaday sheep. False modesty's beneath us.
Please, let me know when you find something.
It's no use. Pockets have been picked clean.
Nothing. Good, you're here. Please, let me know when you find something.
I've got the corpse covered, Swamps. Mud in your ears? I do for Cassandra what you do for Famia. I know Murkmire better than most. Want some advice? Of course you do. Surviving Murkmire isn't about maps or guides or good manners. It's about strength. Strength to do what's necessary. All the time. Yeah, maybe one day you'll get a chance to show me. That could be fun.
Search with your toes, Stibbins. Your toes. remember you. As I recall, you were somewhat helpful the last time my manservant got into a spot of trouble. I won't turn away good fortune. You know how useless Stibbins can be when it comes to recovering historic artifacts. An antique Argonian renewal charm. Without one, they'll never let me observe the ritual of renewal. And that's the whole reason I came to this backwater in the first place. Ugh, now, if only Stibbins would stop playing in the mud and find the damn thing. I'll have you know, I paid a lot for that information. But Stibbins is exceedingly slow and requires constant supervision. Why, I can't even spare a moment to look for the hand mirror he lost. Would you mind ever so much finding it for me, please? That hand mirror is a family heirloom. I can't bear the thought of never seeing it again. Oh, in the meantime, I need to keep prodding my manservant. If I give Stibbins even a moment's reprieve, he'll find a way to laze about. He's ever so good at that. He'd have me believe he's doing his job, but I suspect he's using the opportunity to daydream and dawdle. Stibbins probably determined that the charm wasn't down there fairly quickly. Then he decided to relax with a soak in the mud. I believe it has something to do with Argonian mating habits, but I'm not quite sure. Hence my desire to observe the annual ritual. I have a keen interest in the romantic tendencies of different cultures. Purely on an academic level, you understand. Oh, I've been researching the mating habits of the indigenous races. Fascinating stuff. I plan to write a book. A reference to an Argonian ritual of renewal I came across intrigued me, but the details were vague. So we traveled here to investigate. Why, whatever do you mean? I'm quite sure that if anything untoward happened to my manservant, I'd be the first to know. Besides, Stibbins may seem frail and sluggish, but I have no idea where I was going with that line of reasoning. Stibbins has gotten himself stuck fast.
Much thanks. That wasn't as pleasant as you might expect. I think I swallowed enough mud to fill a pitcher. I'll be fine. I just need a strong cup of tea. Or maybe a good bottle of wine. After I attend to Lady Laurent, of course. And you as well, my friend. I appreciate how you always seem to show up when Milady needs you the most. If you would be kind enough to lend your assistance again, she'd be most appreciative.
A less famous treasure hunter might think the Argonians wanted to foil her efforts to locate a renewal charm. But Lady Laurent is not so easily deterred. We are going to find one of those charms, even if Stibbins has to search the entire swamp. It's used in the mysterious ritual of renewal that one particular tribe of Argonians conducts on an annual basis. Carved from the living root of their history, or so I've been led to believe. They won't let an outsider attend the rite without one. That's hard to say. Mostly because no one will give me a definitive answer. As far as I can tell, it's somehow connected to the tribe's breeding practices. The closest I got was when many whispers offered to point me towards a charm, for a price. Gold. An obscene amount, truth be told. Look, Stibbins is reliable, but he has his failings. So many failings. A less famous treasure hunter might think the Argonians wanted to foil her efforts to locate a renewal charm. But Lady Laurent is not so easily deterred. We are going to find one of those charms, even if Stibbins has to search the entire swamp. It's used in the mysterious ritual of renewal that one particular tribe of Argonians conducts on an annual basis. Carved from the living root of their history, or so I've been led to believe. They won't let an outsider attend the rite without one. That's hard to say. Mostly because no one will give me a definitive answer. As far as I can tell, it's somehow connected to the tribe's breeding practices. The closest I got was when Many Whispers offered to point me towards a charm. For a price. Gold. An obscene amount, truth be told. Look, Stibbins is reliable, but he has his failings. So many failings. Will you accompany him to Many Whispers in the Swallowed Grove? Help him confront the lying Argonian and get me one of those charms? After you and Stibbins confront Many Whispers, meet me at the Lodge of Renewal. It's north of the Brightthroat village, out in the middle of nowhere. Come to think of it, everything out here is in the middle of nowhere. But I'm sure you'll find it. He's an Argonian, a scout of some kind. Knows the swamp like a bear knows honey. Many Whispers was willing to talk to me when so many of his fellows wouldn't give me the time of day. I'm not sure Argonians can tell time, but you get my point. I gave him a small fortune in gold. He may have sent us here in good faith, or he may have tried to cheat me. I will not be fleeced. Besides, as far as I can tell, he is the best scout in the area. If there's a charm to be had, he'll know about it. Get going, Stibbins, and you try to redeem yourself this time.
Right away, milady. Just let me catch my breath.
An egg brother betrays his people in Silent Mire. Sithis take him for doing such a thing. You with the blackguards? I already told you, fetchers, that I'm not interested in joining your little band of merry murderers. I'm just camping up here for a few days, and then I'll be on my way. Oh, right then. I'm just a little bit tense is all. So far, all the blackguards have done is make vague threats, but I know their reputation. They're as rotten as the prison they all live in. Blackrose Prison? Don't know much, I'm afraid. Used to be owned by the Imperials. Named after an old city nearby, I believe, though I'm sure that's in ruins too. As you can tell, it's no longer operational. Now it just houses the blackguards. Because the blackguard founders were former Naga inmates. This was decades ago, of course. I'm sure all the original members have died off by now. Drakey the Unchained leads them now. He accepts everyone. The original blackguards would only accept Argonians into their ranks, but when Drakey took over, that all changed. Now they accept anyone, no matter their race. They even tried to recruit me, a dark elf.
Lady Laurent demands restitution, you jackanapes!
Jackanapes? You must have me confused with an Argonian of another tribe. Keep your voice low, or you'll awaken every skeleton in the grove. What are you doing down here, by the way? Oh, the dry-skinned shrew. Her manservant has been bending my frill in a most unpleasant manner. Understand, I pointed her toward one possible location. I never said she would definitely find a charm in that puddle of mud. Lied? Oh, not in so many words, no. I sold her hope, which she seemed to desperately need at the time. Look, if she really wants a renewal charm, I just so happen to have one. Would you like to make a trade? Well, let me think about that. If I had just sold her the charm up front, she never would have given me gold to point her toward the mud puddle, and then you wouldn't be here willing to negotiate another deal. Next question. I need a key. A specific key, in fact. One that opens a hidden strongbox in Gideon. My associate, Myrdamir, has it. Unfortunately, he died. Down in this cave, to be precise. Find the key, bring it to me, and the renewal charm is yours. Keep your voice low, or you'll awaken every skeleton in the grove. Oh, the dry... Lied? Well, let me think about that. I need a key, a specific... Find my poor associate's dead body, and get the key to his strongbox. I'll wait here, and make sure the renewal charm Lady Laurent is so desperate to get her hands on remains safe and sound. Carved from histwood, our tribe uses the charm to determine who can participate in our annual rite of renewal. I wish I could tell you more, but there are some secrets even I won't divulge. I hope you understand. My poor associate, Myrdamir. He was like a root brother to me. He came down here and got himself killed. It's only fair that I claim his few worldly possessions. I just need to recover the key to his strongbox from his cold, dead body. manservant isn't looking so well. I don't think the humidity of Murkmire agrees with him. But let's get down to business. Were you able to recover Mirdamir's key? Not to worry. A deal's a deal. Here's the renewal charm that the manservant's mistress has been so anxious to get her hands on. Now you can all stop pestering me. If you don't mind, I have a strongbox to unlock.
Lady Laurent awaits us at the Renewal Lodge. You leave the cave first. I'm much more stealthy when I'm on my own. Besides, I need another moment to recover. The thick air down here has left me rather peaked.
From the sides.
It is not possible. You do not even possess a renewal charm.
My manservant will be along with one moment. Ah, look, here they come now.
Even so, no outsider has ever participated in our sacred rite.
You talk to her. Maybe she'll understand your less refined use of the language.
Please, speak to the Ustilith. I must prepare myself for the ritual of renewal.
The Ojel's voice, it reverberates in my dorsal flange. Most unpleasant.
All of this conflict, it can't be good for the renewal ritual.
You are the outsider bending the reeds in Lilmoth, the one who destroyed Azanmir. I imagined you would be taller. Still, there is nothing you can say to change my mind. Not even for the loud dry-skin who thinks the sun shines just for her. I suppose one outsider could be permitted to take part in the ritual of renewal. Of course, the preparations required are extensive. To prepare for the renewal rite, the Us, one must align their three primal essences: blood, bile, and mind. With the renewal charm in hand, one must endure the bite of a hummerwing, drink the venom of a snake, and meditate beneath a waterfall. If an outsider were to do these things, and demonstrate a true desire to learn more about our culture, I would not turn them away. The rites of the Saxhleel, they are not meant to be shared with outsiders. I advise against riding this current, but I will honor our agreement. Once one of you fulfills the requirements of preparation, we will begin the ritual of renewal.
Make sure Stibbins aligns his bodily fluids just as the Argonian described. I want him to be totally ready for the renewal ritual. Oh, goodness, no. That wouldn't be proper. I need to maintain my objectivity. For my readers, you understand. Stibbins will prepare himself, attend the ritual, and tell me all about it. Then I will recount it in my book with scholarly detachment. Stibbins! Go with our friend and align your bodily fluids. I want you to attend the renewal rite in my place.
I, milady? Why me? Looks like a hummerwing hive. Could you give it a little kick? Gently. Well, that's bigger than I expected. now! One bite, I said! One bite! Snake venom. If I must drink the vile stuff, we'll need to find a den. Let's split up and look around. Ah, you located a snake den. Now, carefully, like milking a very small, elongated goat. Here goes nothing. Bottoms up.
Be mindful of your head. This is a fruitful place to gather termite larvae, if you are wary of the occasional falling plank. Once, I think, Sithis tired of it and returned it to the trees. The Changer is boundless in its creativity, yes. I do not. But I saw Amlai guiding a Malil to the ridge above. Imperials seem to have interest in such things. You'll have to go through the sunken bulwark east of here to get up there. Do not pay too steep a price for your curiosity.
It's freezing under here, but I think I can feel my mind aligning quite nicely. I don't exactly know. I can't feel my extremities, but I think I'll stay under for a few more moments.
Stibbins, you smell like a swamp. Stand over there this instant.
As you wish, milady.
My manservant did as you asked. Will you allow him to observe your ritual?
If you insist. Come, Dryskin. Join us in the lodge. The ooze starts now. Breathe deep the arousing fumes. Take it all in. Let your aligned essences guide you. When you feel totally filled, relax your cloaca and let it all out.
I don't think I have a cloaca.
Don't have a... Oh, no. You must exit the lodge right now, Dryskin.
That was most peculiar.
Stibbins! Oh, not again. My sorry excuse for a manservant can't even take part in a simple Argonian ritual without one disaster or another befalling him. Worse, he didn't even get a chance to tell me what happened inside the lodge before he changed. What happened to Stibbins? Why, the same thing that always happens. He ruined my latest undertaking by transforming into an egg. Oh, I'm sure this has something to do with the tribe's mating practices, but I can't for the life of me imagine how. But turn him back? Yes, I suppose I'll need to work on that. Or not. Imagine what might hatch from such an egg. Woo! Or maybe I'll make an omelet. I'm particularly famished after all this work. Anyway, here you are. For your assistance. It's been a pleasure. Despite his best efforts, Stibbins actually did something right. I have plenty of material for my book, including the first eyewitness account of an actual ovum transformation. Oh, but there's work to be done. I wonder what happens if I crack the shell. You saw what I saw. Of course, when it comes to the interplay of alchemical reagents and tribal magic, anything is possible. But for the purposes of my book, let's go with the transformation theory. I certainly hope so. Who's going to prepare my supper and afternoon bath? Unless you'd be interested in... No, I suppose not. I'll contact my colleagues in the Mages Guild. I'm sure one of them can help me work this out.
It's no use. Pockets have been picked clean.
Nothing is ever that simple. Good, you're here.